What's up, guys, and welcome to a, UA Lost Kids video, but we're not opening anything. That's kind of the plan with this channel, is to also have, like, just in general discussions about trading cards and collectibles and all that other good stuff. That being said, I don't really have like a studio setup per se. Right now, all I have to work with is my chair, my computers and whatnot. I want to set up something with like a laptop and be able to be standing and kind of I'm awful at talking without pacing around or making some sort of like, you know, movement with my hands. So anyway, that being said, that's in the future. For right now, what you have is me sitting down, just bullshitting about, trading cards, pretty much. And let's get right into it. So, as we know, last year and a half, we've had a lot of money come into the economy, a lot of stimulus stuff, people on unemployment making more than they would working, etc. And what happened was a huge boom, right? Crazy. I've been collecting cards for a long time, and I've never seen such a crazy like shift in the market as far as Yu-Gi-Oh, MTG, and Pokemon. MTG not as much, I suppose, but as far as the collector's market for like Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon goes, absolutely exploded, right? I mean, if you're into either of those either of those worlds and into the older collectible stuff, it was like a 200% gain or something insane like that. It was truly insane. One card, for example, Gold Star Charizard, that was 700 at 1K near mint condition. That went up to like a 2,000 raw. A raw copy went up to like 2,000, $2,500 for a near mint copy of Gold Star. Now, what we've seen is especially with the Pokemon market, that has just came all the way back down. These older for some reason the modern sealed is staying at like a kind of high level, but the older like vintage cards have absolutely came down. So my apologies if you invested in them when they were on the boom, thinking that the boom would never stop. It has kind of come down and kind of leveled out and kind of going back to the norm, and that can be said with Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I saw a lot of fluctuations throughout the pandemic and throughout, obviously we're still in the pandemic, but we're not as much as before with mandates being lifted and all that good stuff. We're seeing a lot of people going back to work, and we're not getting as much, not as much money is flowing into people's pockets. And it's really something to see. With how long I've been doing this and how long I've been tracking market fluctuations and markets in general, it's a sight to see. It really is. And same with Yu-Gi-Oh. You had old Ultimate Rares going up, something to crazy amounts. 100% increase in price and base prices on raw cards, and it was just absolutely insane. And now we're seeing it come back down and level out. MTG was interesting. I really didn't see a whole lot. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I didn't see a ton of fluctuation on like vintage cards. They kind of the reserve list kind of came back. It went from being super low. I actually bought in with a few things like revised dual lands. Those were bottoming out at one point, like shortly before the pandemic, and then the pandemic hit, and they kind of just went back up to the about an equilibrium as far as market level goes. So it's been a very interesting time in the TCG world. I think we'll see this trend continue as far as things just kind of leveling out, going back to normal. I see the Yu-Gi-Oh market kind of staying a little bit high. But as far as like reserve list goes and vintage Magic cards go, I see them pretty much just staying at the same market price they've been at for the last 3 to 4 years. And then with Pokemon, like I said, boy, that was the biggest one in my opinion. Is were were had the fluctuation. It was just absolutely incredibly insane. I have never seen anything like it, and I haven't been doing this for like 20 years. I haven't. I've been trading cards and in the market and keeping track of market fluctuations for about six, ish. But I also know a lot of the history, and I'm interested in the history of these card games. I find it very interesting. Black Lotuses used to be $300, and now you can't get one for, less than 3-4 grand, give or take, unless you get one that's literally been run over by a tractor. You know, it's really interesting to me. The whole thing is interesting to me. I learn something new almost daily because there's so much history behind all of this that it takes a lot more time than what I've put into it to learn exactly what has changed throughout the lifetime of said games. Now, with that being said, for future games, I'm super interested to see what happens with Fab, which has at the time recording of this, there is a decent sized tournament going on in Las Vegas, and I think it's I think it's around 2,000 player tournament that's going on for Fab, Flesh and Blood. If you don't know what that is, that's an interesting one to keep track of. And then I think MetaZoo is another one that'll be interesting to see what happens with it, where it goes. If it catches on like Fab has. I know there's a lot of stores that have picked up Fab. The playstyle is interesting to me. I haven't really dove too much into the card mechanics and all that stuff just yet. Because my local stores don't. They've kind of tried it. They gave it like a chance for like a week, and then I think if it sticks around, I'll see it more in my LGSs. But when I travel, I can imagine I can see it. Some super interesting stuff. That being said, I am actually going on a vacation. I know I launched this channel probably at the worst time I possibly could, but I'm going on vacation, so I won't be uploading, unfortunately. I want to get this one in today, maybe another one on Monday. We'll see. I don't know. I got to pack and stuff and get ready for all that stuff. But anyway, let me know what you think about the market down below. What to look out for. What do you think is going to happen in the future? I think we're going back to a pretty normal level, market level for a lot of these games and their vintage cards, and even in the standard cards are pretty much. MTG is coming out with crazy product, as we all know, if you follow it at all. With the secret layers, with the premium Modern Horizons, and I think they're coming out with another double master, or master set, not double masters, but with another master set. It's very interesting. The way that these companies are going with a lot of stuff, and I love it all, and I like talking about it, and I hope you like talking about it too. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I'll see you then.